We got ourselves a brew day. If you are looking to move from kit, cans of goo, Cooper's Mutton, just a can of goo, and they're interested in brewing a little bit better beer, think about getting into all grain, this is stage 2. This is step 2. Some people never leave here because it makes such good beer. This is Partial Mash Brewing, guys. And we got ourselves a brew day today. We're going to do one of these. I haven't done one of these, in all honesty, in a long ass time. So I decided I'm just going to start from the get-go, do what I would do if I wasn't on camera, and we'll just open the box and take it from there. So here we go first. This is a Brewer's Best Partial Mash kit. Okay? Would you like the Brewer's Best story? Fresh ingredients, true to style recipes, conveniently packaged at affordable price. That's enough of their story. IPA, 1 gallon. This is making a 1 gallon kit. Of course you can do, I'm not sure if you can do 3 gallons. I think you can, but of course you can do the 5 gallons. I'm just doing the 1 gallons. I've got myself my little fermenter around here somewhere. I'll bust it out and show you here in a little bit. Contents, you get malt extract syrup, okay? That's basically your base. So if you're doing all grain, that would be your base grains, like 2-row, what have you. You got specialty grains, so this is going to give you more character. This is going to give you color, aroma, head retention, mouthfeel, that type of stuff. We got hops, so you're going to learn how to add hops during the brewing process, okay? And probably as an IPA, I'm assuming that we will also be dry hopping. You got your yeast. Hopefully it's a good yeast. I'm sure it is. I never thought about that. Spicings and flavorings. I'm not sure that would come with this type of beer. I doubt it. A grain bag. So that'll be used to steep your grains. You put the grains in, you'll steep it. This pot, I'm positive, is overkill. But again, I haven't done one of these in a long time, so I don't have any smaller pot. I don't do a lot of cooking, baking, any of that type of shite. So this is what I got. I got myself a brewing pot. It'll work fine. I'm not worried about it. I don't worry about much. Make beer easy, baby. Priming sugar, so that'll be for when we bottle. Bottle caps, that's cool. I guess. I'm sure they're the metal ones. I don't do that. So they'll probably go right into the old garbage. And because what I'll use the swing top bottles. Those are my favorite, or plastic bottles. I got some of them kicking around too. Easy to follow instructions. Well, Brewer's Best will be the judge of that. See if I can get into this kit. All right, let's have a little look at the ingredients themselves. A little unboxing time. Easy to follow instructions. Perfect. We're gonna follow them because it's been a while. What do we got here? Maybe a sticker? No, not a sticker. I like my stickers for the kegerator. That's too bad, Brewer's Best. You should give us a sticker. I don't know what this is all about. Just a little promo for them, I guess. Whoop-de-doo. And then we got, what do we got here? Crushed biscuit malt. Okay, so these are your specialty grains that I was talking about. So this is where you're going to learn how to, in all grain we call it mashing. Here in partial mash is steeping. Same kind of idea. You're soaking the grains in warm liquid in order to get all the sugars out of the grain. Convert the starches into sugars, all that good stuff. These are already crushed, they're pre-crushed, which even when I do all grain, I hate crushing, man. I can't stand it. Milling my own grain, so I always order pre-crushed. Make beer easy, baby. So we got crushed biscuit, that's nice, 3 ounces, and we got Cara Red malt, 3 ounces. Cool, right on. See what else we got, guys. What do we have here? There's your liquid. That's not liquid. I thought they said we had no, that's not liquid, that's a powder. So this is Golden Light Dry Malt Extract, DME. I thought they said we come with liquid, but it makes sense that it's dry. Malt extract syrup. Yeah, that's why I thought it was liquid. Anyway, all good. Same thing, don't matter to me in one little bit. Dry malt extract, concentrated brewer's wort, Golden Light DME, dry malt extract. What do we got here? Okay, we got some more light dried malt extract. Right on. All right, let's get into the hopsy hops. We've got Chinook, 3 gram. We got another Chinook, 3 gram. And we got Columbus, 5 gram. I wonder if we do dry hop with this. If we don't, I'll probably go out and get some hops to dry hop later on. There's the bottle caps. If you're into capping beer, go ahead. I don't. We got the... well, they said they had a grain bag. I guess that's it. You got to get all those. That's kind of small brewer's best, but I don't know. Maybe all the grains will go in there. I guess. We'll see. Anyway, I've got these are like hop sacks or muslin bags or whatever they call them. That's really small. I do have other ones, so no big deal. If it doesn't hold it, I'll be using a different one. What else we got? There's your priming sugar. So when we get the bottling, we'll use that. What is that? Just sucrose, I'm sure. I'm sure it is. Doesn't say on that, so that'd just be table sugar. San Diego. Here we go. So there's the yeast. Let's check this one out. I've never seen this one. San Diego Active Dried Ale Brewing Yeast. Cool. All types of American ales, example IPAs, low alcohol to strong American ales, very versatile. I don't think you use the whole thing with this because it's only 1 gallon. Fermentation, fast, 7 days at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperature range should be 60 to 75. Don't go over 70, guys. Nope. Don't go over 70. Keep her under 70. I like around 63 to 65 Fahrenheit. Fluctuation and sedimentation ability high. Pitching, sprinkle dry yeast into wort. Rehydration is sterile water and temperature of dissolved yeast at a rate. Nah, we're just gonna, I like what they said originally, sprinkle dry yeast in the wort. So we're not gonna rehydrate. You don't need to rehydrate. So I'm not going to. Alcohol tolerance 9%. Cool. All right. I need a sip of me pint here. Cheers. Oh, that's actually Guinness. I can't lie, man. I still love my Guinness. Okay. Plus, I was going to say it's morning. It's actually 1:30 in the afternoon. I was going to say it's so much more than a breakfast drink, which it is. No questions asked. Take a look at the instructions. Comes very detailed instructions. I remember these very well. So let's do it. It's even got a spot for you to put your OG and all that. So that's nice. They're saying the IBUs on this are 56 to 60. OG should be between 1.061 to 1.067. That's originally gravity for any newbies. Use your hydrometer. Stay tuned. You will see me do that in this video. FG is the final gravity. So OG for newbies, that's the gravity of the wort, sugar content before it's fermented. And then FG, final gravity, that's the sugar content after it's fermented. You use those two numbers to determine your ABV, alcohol by volume. So the FG is supposed to be 1.017 to 1.021. ABV 6 to 6.5. Woo! Difficulty, easy. We'll decide that. Color, medium amber. Cool. Okay. Step 1. Read all the recommended procedures before you begin. Check. Step 2, sanitize. Thoroughly clean and sanitize all brewing equipment utensils that will come in contact with any ingredients, wort, or beer with a certified sanitizer. Star San, so everything. Yeah, we do have a boil, but I'm still going to sanitize my kettle even though we're having a boil. The rule typically is anything after the boil that's going to touch your beer needs to be sanitized. I'll even get a little bowl of sanitizer and I'll dip the yeast sachet packet top into it. I'll sanitize my scissors that are going to cut that. Any spoon you're going to use, clearly your fermenter, sanitize the shite out of it, okay? Step 3, pour 1.5 gallons of clean water into your brew pot and begin to heat. Pour crushed grains into the grain bag, tie a loose knot at the top of the bag. When the water is within appropriate steeping temperature, 150 to 165, so you do need a thermometer. Place the grain bag into the brew pot. Steep grains for approximately 20 minutes. I'm assuming at that temperature. Remove grain bag and without squeezing, allow liquid to drain back into your pot. Your water is now warmed. Cool. Okay, so we do a boil at that. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get ready for that. I'm going to sanitize my stuff. I'm going to get the 1.5 gallons of water in there. And then we'll come back for the steeping the old grain ski. All right, guys. Water is in the pot. What we say, 1.5 gallons, which is about, for all you liters guys, it's about 5.7 liters, okay? I've got my trusty thermometer. This isn't a digital one. My digital one crapped the bed. I actually just ordered a new one. It's on its way, but this works fine. So we are now presently waiting for this water to get up to 150 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're going to steep the grains. So off camera, what I'm going to do now is see if I can get these grains into this little hop sack. We shall see and I'll be back with the results of that bad boy. Scratch that, because I ain't playing around with this little tiny bag. That's what she said. What I'm going to do instead is my homebrew shop. The guy always has these extra muslin bags kicking around. He always asks me if I want them, so I got a ton of these kicking around. I'm going to use a bigger one, a little bigger, and won't be as sketchy getting the grains in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll be back once the water is up to temperature, and we'll go ahead and steep the grains. All right, guys, all right. Don't worry about the second pan. I'm making a little stir fry. I'm a little hungry. The boil's actually 40 minutes, which surprised me. So 20 minutes steep, I think it said. Let me see, steep 20 minutes, so it's an hour or more, so I'm getting hungry. I thought it'd be a little quicker than that. All good, though. So we are now presently at 150. So 150 to 165, it said. And then the trick's going to be to keep it in that temperature range. You're going to want to keep your thermometer in there, or if you're using it digitally, you want to keep her handy nearby. I actually like these ones better for this because I can just leave it right there. So I was on high. I've dropped her down to, I don't know, 7. I'll probably take her down to 6 or so. I just want to maintain this temperature range here now. So I got the grains into the large muslin bag, much better. I like to, when I put them in, I don't like them to sit on the bottom. I don't think it would scorch at this temperature, but I will tie the bag on so that it is suspended in the mix instead of, you got to make sure it's all in there though, that's the problem. But I don't want it to sit on the bottom. That's why this pot's not ideal, because it's so honking big that the water depth is not that deep. Anyway, that's good. Everything's in there now. You guys want to see that? I don't want any complaints from everybody saying, oh, it's so jiggly, it's so jiggly. Yeah, don't get see. Can't really see that, can you? So let's come this way. There we go. So it's suspended. And we got 20 minutes. So I'm just looking at the clock here now. 20 minutes steeping. So this is, bear with me, no complaints. Get me seasick. This is very similar to mashing. Got to stir my stir fry here. Very similar to mashing when you're doing all grains. Okay, so except you would be mashing longer period of time, and you would also be having your base grains, which in this case the dry malt extract is taking the place of the base grains. Okay, so that's what I got. I don't know where I put my clicker, but here it is. So 20 minutes is up. I'll be back, and we're going to start heading to the boil, and we'll get the DME in there, and we'll go from there. I did note that there's no dry hops on this. IPA, no dry hops. Don't quite get that. But I might just test it as is and see how it tastes. Might be more of a pale ale than an IPA if we're not dry hopping. But anyway, I think instead of adding some dry hops, I think I'll just follow the brewer's best and trust their expertise and see what their recipe turns out to taste like. Okay, we'll be back when we hit that boil. Okay, little tip here, guys. As per the instructions and as per common brewing practices, you don't want your temperature of your, pretty much now it's wort, you don't want that to go over 170, or you're going to start getting some tannins leaching out of the grains. So I could not maintain the temperature. It was creeping up too high. I'm stirring it a bit. I'm sitting at like 168 right now. So long story short, I removed it from the heat. I'll let that drop back down to 150 something. Drop her back on real low. I got the heat on low here now. Kettle pot is not on the burner. The burner's over here. It's off the burner. And it's dropping back down to where I want it, stirred around. So you don't want to go over 170, okay? We'll be back once that is 20 minutes is up. We're going to move on to step number 2. Or I don't know what step we're on. The next step, yeah. All right, guys. We are, the steep of the grains is over. So what we're doing now, number 1, when you're done steeping your grains, do not squeeze the grain bag. Okay, that lets all kinds of tannins and shit into your beer. So you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to let it drain in. So what I've done is I've raised it up out of the wort, the grain bag I'm talking about. I've raised it up and I've tied it off so it's draining in. As it comes to a boil, I'll let it drain so we get all the goodness in. You guys want to see the color here now? Bear with me again, Jesus. See if I can get you in there. I think you can see it there. Yeah, all right, so you're getting an idea of the color now. So we're getting there. Looks good. You can see the grain bag just sitting there draining. So next steps are we get that up to boil, and then I add the dry malt extract. So it's two types of dry malt. One is light and the other is golden light dry malt extracts, hence the 2 bags. So we're going to get that up to a boil. Start boil. Add all of the included dry malt extract to the boiling wort. Continuously stir the dry malt extract into the wort as it returns to a gentle rolling boil. So we want to get this up to a gentle rolling boil. So you don't want vigorous. You want just gentle rolling, nice few bubbles on top type of deal. Bubbling gently, hence the gently rolling boil. And then we're going to add the DME, stir it, and continue to stir it until it returns to a gentle rolling boil and it's all melted. And I would stir it even throughout the boil. You do not want the DME, dry malt extract, to char on the bottom of the kettle. Okay, so I'll be back when we're adding the DME. All right, guys, we got a slow rolling boil, so we're gonna slowly add the DME to it with my sanitized scissors. It doesn't matter for this point because it is a boil, so that'll sanitize it. Make sure that's recording. This is some live action. Slowly adding it, stirring it. One thing about this big pot, and this works fine for this, I've decided this is fine. I don't have to worry about any boil overs, which when you're doing all grain, that's always something you got to watch out for. When the boil starts, you can have a boil over, which is exactly as it sounds. It boils over, makes a mess all over your kettle and all over everything else. All right. I'm looking forward to this beer because these really do make some nice beer. Get in there. The spoon, I'm a little concerned, is not made for brewing. I should have used my brew kettle metal spoon. Don't want this to melt on me. Get a little plastic in my beer. Not cool. Not cool. I'm not sure why I use this, but anyway, she seems to be staying non-melted. If my other one was right here, I'd use it. Let's see if I can find something. A whisk. A whisk. All right. Let's, where did I put my spoons? Or not my spoon, my scissors. Let's do that. We're adding the 1 pound of golden light malt extract using the whisk. So you just want to stir it because until this melts, like I said, you don't want it charring on the bottom. You don't want a barbecue flavored beer. Not what we're going for here. Ah, shit. There goes my whisk. Always something. Should have stuck with the spoon. Into the old kettle it went. See if I can fish that out of there. Always something you're brewing, man. Always, 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 always. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Next steps, guys, is we are, oh, that's good, burning some dry malt extract onto my hand. That's feeling good. We are going to come back when this comes back to a slow rolling boil, and we're going to add the first hop. Be right back. Got to wash my hands before my finger burns off. Yes, sir. All right, I did burn the shit out of my thumb or my finger, but you know what? Show must go on. Show must go on. We are back to a slow rolling boil. This is actually an hour boil, not 40 minutes, an hour. So we're at the boil. So this is the 60-minute mark. We're adding the 5 grams of hops. The Columbus is going into the boil. Just drop them right in there. It's so funny compared to brewing a big 5-gallon. There was only like 6 or 8 little hops in there. That's funny. Anyway, so now we got 40 minutes, and we'll come back at the 20-minute mark to add 3 grams of Chinook. So I got my timer on, 40 minutes. It'll be just like a flash for you. I'm gonna go eat my lunch, and we'll be back. I'll keep an eye on this and give her a stir every once in a while. Make sure there's nothing on the bottom searing. and we'll see you in 40 minutes. All right, guys, we are cooking with gas here. We are 40 minutes into the boil. One tip I give you, one you got to do this. Don't put a cover under in the boil. That causes off flavors, no good. You want to let it all steam out and boil away that way. Chinook, 3 grams, we're putting in at the 40-minute mark. And again, just dump her in. The 6 to 8 that come with this one gallon batch. Pretty funny. There's one more in there. Get in there. We need all we can get. Okay, so what happens next is 10 minutes. I come back and we're going to add the next 3 grams of Chinook, and then we boil it for 10 more minutes. So I will be back at the 10-minute mark here. That'll be the 20-minute mark. And I believe it'll be the 20-minute mark. Let me do the math here real quick. Should be the 20-minute mark because we're going to do another 10 minutes. No, it's at the 10-minute mark, like I said. All right, guys, we're at the 10-minute mark, and we're putting the last hop addition, which is 3 grams of Chinook, into the old kettle. And then we will be boiling for 10 more minutes, hence the 10-minute mark. And then from there, we are going to chill this bad boy. We're going to do that with a ice bath. So we're going to fill up the sink with cold water and ice packs, and we'll let it sit there with the cover on. Till we get her down to under 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Once I shut this boil off, as I've stressed many times, everything that touches the beer, comes in contact with it, or possibly could come in contact with it, needs to be sanitized so that we get no bacteria into our wonderful nectar of the gods. Back in 10 minutes. All right, guys. Shitty, thought I was recording, I wasn't. Boil's over. We have put the kettle into my sink. I've got some ice packs around it. I've got a couple trays of ice. I usually like to go out and buy ice, but I just decided to brew here today on a whim. So I don't have it, but I got a couple trays. I do have very cold ice water in my well. Small volume liquid here, not a lot of water, it's only 1 gallon. So should get down to temperature, yeast pitching temperature, which we want it under 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, all part of the adventure. That's cool. Hopefully I didn't get any water in there, whatever. And then here's my fermenter. We're gonna dump her into the old fermenter, 1 gallon fermenter. It's got a lid with an airlock. And I'm going to watch what's going on here. I'm going to have a big mess of a wort everywhere. And then we'll pitch the yeast. So I will be back as soon as that gets down under 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, sir. Welcome back, guys. It's been a few hours later, actually. I decided to go out in my patio, smoke a couple stogies, and have a few beers, i.e. 5 or 6 pints. So I'm a little happier than I was earlier. There it is there. The fennel. I took filled up my hydrometer. Can't get a reading yet because she's still too foamy. She's floating though, so you'll have to stay tuned to one of the next videos. I'll give you the what I ended up with the original gravity on it. Ice bathed it. I did it twice. I always forget that my thermometer that I have is wonderful for the boil and stuff, but it doesn't go under 100 degrees. And my digital thermometer, shite the bed. I got a new one on order, so I'm not able to figure out if the temperature is under 70. So I did 2 ice baths. You see that? The beer's getting to me now. Ice baths. And it's been like 2-3 hours. A little longer than I like to leave it sit, but it's fine. So that's the color. Interesting looking color to it. I think you guys can probably see that. I don't want to pull it out because she's filling up slowly. And that's the color. So almost looks like a brown ale at the moment. But anyway, I'm trying to, I was just going to dump it in. And the instructions were now use a siphon, because there's a lot of shite actually on the bottom. Some of the hop, especially the malts as well as the hop debris down there. So I am going to try to keep a lot of that out of my fermenter. I'm not sure I'm getting 1 gallon here, guys. It's a little disappointing. Not sure why. There is still some left in here, but I'm getting into a lot of the trub or the shite at the bottom. But I actually don't mind if that gets into my fermenter, because it will just fall to the bottom. And when I'm done fermenting this, I will, you can see it's like it's spitting the shit out. It's like all gunk there now. So I'm a little disappointed in the volume. I'm not sure if my boil was a little too, I'm going to let all the crap go down there. I don't give a crap because it's still liquid and that stuff will just stay at the bottom. I'd like to get a little more volume than that. That's not even, that is about 3/4 of a gallon at the moment. That's not great. So I'm not sure if it was my boil was too rigorous. It could have been at times. I did try to slow it down quite a bit. I might have evaporated out a little too much liquid. Not sure. But anyway, is what it is. Not sweating it. I'm going to keep sucking that in there because there's still a lot of beer in there, even though there's a bunch of crap in there with it. And that, like I say, look at, you can see it down at the bottom there now. That's gross. Anyway, we will we'll cold crash it. I will probably, when I go to when I cold crash it, I'll probably add some gelatin to the fermenter itself, and should become nice and clear. I think that's all I'm going to put in there, guys, because now I'm getting down into some really nasty stuff. Oh, I don't like that. I wish there was a little more, but anyway, it is what it is. We will make adjustments. I got another one of these kits we're going to do, and we'll make adjustments for next time, but that's just pure, just nasty crap going in there now. Anyway, next step, they say 1 teaspoon of the yeast. So, I'm going to put probably 1.5. Yeah, oh man, we'll probably be lucky to get 5 bottles out of that. Might do 16-ounce swing pops. So, anyway, whatever. Hopefully it'll turn out pretty good. Yeah, a lot of garbage in there. Anyway, that's disappointing, and I do think it's probably boiled off too much. But it is what it is. Can't do anything about that now. Next time, might have to, because I couldn't get it much lower, man. There are times I had it was barely boiling, then I'd turn it back up just a fraction, and she would take right off. I was like, ah. Anyway, it is what it is. I'll do some thinking about it, a little research. And next one we do, we'll probably add, I will add more. We did 1.5 gallons. I'll probably go up to at least 2. Anyway, they're saying 1 teaspoon of yeast. So we're going to do that. And they actually say pitch it dry. Not all that went in there, so I'm going to do a little more. And they say to pitch it dry, like I said it was going to do. I was just reading the instructions. Anyway, all good stuff. You live and you learn. You figure it out as you go. I haven't done one of these Brewer's Best kits in a while. I don't think I've ever done one of them 1 gallon. I'm actually positive I have not. Covers going on. You get your airlock. This bowl here is full of star sand. I don't use just plain water in my airlock. I like to have star sand in there. Take her up to the line. Why is that not doing it? There we go. All right, put that on. Cover on the airlock. Hey, bada boom, bada bing. We're going to put that in there. It's a great little fermenter. I like it. You don't have to mess around with the bungs. Anyway, that's disappointing. That's the 1 gallon mark. So we're at, what, 3/4 probably. Anyway, it's what it is. Stay tuned. Subscribe for the to the channel, because I will be doing I will cold crash this. I'm not going to dry hop it. I'm going to cold crash it. And then I'm going to, at the same time, I'll put some gelatin in there to try to get it cleared up a bit. And then I'll be bottling this bad boy. Obviously, she ain't going in a keg. And that's what I got, guys. So stay tuned, subscribe. If you're new to brewing, you can sign up for my Beginner Brewers Bootcamp. The link's under this video. And if you've been brewing for a while, or you're looking to get into all grain, I used to own a brew pub, and I give away my top 5 personal best selling recipes from the brew pub, so you can sign up and get that too. Links will be under this video. Cheers, guys. We'll see you on the next video. I will have the series under this in the description. So there'll be at least 2 more videos in this series. One will be the cold crashing. There'll be 4 total videos. There'll be cold crashing, bottling, and then the good old taste test, my favorite. Cheers, guys. Have yourself a good one. Big Rob Well. He gone. All right, guys, welcome back to the, I don't know, the kind of like a Marvel movie here. This is the, I don't know, the extra credit scene or whatever the heck we call it. I took a gravity reading, and I still can't get it 100%, but I don't care because it's shaping up to be about 1.080 plus. It's supposed to be between 1.061 and 1.067. First of all, what happened? I figured it out after I got off camera. Remember the pot I used? Way too big of a pot. So the surface area was way too large and we evaporated way more water or wort than we should have. So this is seriously concentrated. Next time, I might go get a different pot, proper size pot for these 1 gallons, or if I use that pot I used, then I will go 1.7 to 2 gallons instead of 1.5, and I'll really slow the boil down. I had a hard time keeping the boil from being rigorous to rolling boil. First time I've used a stovetop to brew beer, so you got to dial your system in. So I did some math. I have my AI guy. He actually named himself Brewster. So he and I had a little chat, and we talked about diluting it or not. I wasn't going to, but then once I saw the OG, I was like, holy crap, this thing's supposed to be what, 6.5%? She would be concentrated, she would be bitter, she'd probably be really gross, high ABV on it. So we figure this is about 0.7 of a gallon. So I'm going to pop it up to the full gallon, which is right about there on these things. And we did the math, and that should bring us to 1.060 in OG. I'm not going to bother siphoning any out. I'm just going to go with that. Learn from it. This is all about dialing in your brewing system, and we need to really dial it in, obviously. So all it is, I know it's the pot. It's 100% the pot. We boiled off way too much. This purified water, which is reverse osmosis, clean water, sanitized water. I wouldn't even be worried if I used my water from my tap. I use it on the cans of goo all the time, so wouldn't be worried about that. But I'm going to use the purified water for the heck of it. I'm going to again just take it up to the full gallon. This will also give me more beer, and this is just going to be way too concentrated. So this is the best thing to do. I gave it some thought. I wasn't going to do it, and you can see all the gunk I put in there too. So I'm going to take it up to right there. And again, our calculations, i.e. my AI brewing amigo, figures it should be an OG of about 1.060. So that's fine. Not worried about it. Like I said, first time I brewed one of these 1 gallon batches. First time I've done a partial mash in a long ass time. Live and learn. Definitely the kettle was the issue. We boiled off way too much. So that's what I got, guys. And stay tuned, subscribe. This is going to be another one of these fun brews that should be very interesting when the taste test comes around. Cheers, Big Rob. This time, he gone. Well, that turned off. Maybe he's not gone. He gone.